Hello again, beautiful people. My name is Crystal from Heart Musings with Crystal, and today we're talking about a fun little challenge called ICAD. So ICAD stands for Index Card a Day, and I believe this challenge is already a few years old. It was created by somebody named Diaz-Little, and I believe her Instagram handle is Gypsy999 possibly. Let me just double check. Yeah, her Instagram handle is Gypsy999. And so she created this challenge, Index Card a Day, just to, I guess, kind of get people inspired and find that creative spark again. And essentially all it is a challenge where you create on an index card every day, starting from June 1st all the way to the end of July. So it ends up being about 61 days worth of index cards. Now, I had never heard of this challenge, but somebody in a Facebook group that I'm a part of mentioned it, and I looked it up, and it seems like so much fun. So I decided to try it out this year. I think I read somewhere that they recommend that you have somewhere to store all your cards, and I recently had bought this enormous index card organizer thing. I had wanted to use it for another purpose, but I think in this case it works out great. So it came with a bunch of dividers and of course the larger index cards. So these are the ones that I'm going to be working with. Now you don't have to have an actual case. I'm sure you could just put these in a pouch or whatever you have lying on hand, but thankfully I had one. So for today, all I'm going to do is work on the cover page and probably a couple cards. I might do this like a compilation, I guess, or I might just put all of the days for the first week put together on one video, possibly. If I did, well, you'll know because that's what you're watching. If not, at least you get to see me create and decorate the cover card. All right, so enough talking from me. I will go ahead and get started, and I'm going to play around with this, and I hope you all have fun watching. Oh, I forgot to mention, I had played around with a bunch of my distress stains sometime last month, and I made a couple of things that I think would be great for this project. I was originally going to do a series where I talked about how to make your own collage fodder. So I was testing out some things. If you do want to see me recreate some of these things on camera, I'd be happy to do that too. But these are what I came up with. So I made things called master boards. It's pretty much, I guess you just you stamp and stencil and make marks and all this stuff, and then you cut up the one sheet of paper to use for various projects. So this was done with acrylic paint, actually. And for my, and here's some more. It was just a really fun day project that I did while watching a true crime documentary on that cult Nexium. I think it was the one on HBO that I was watching. Okay, so I made those, and then these here are sticker paper. So I've talked about it before. Sticker paper is my ride or die, my ride or die art craft journal supply. I don't know what I would do without sticker paper. So I use that to print out all of my monthly collage sheets from the patrons I follow. And instead of letting the excess go to waste, here, I'll show you what I mean. So this is a printable, and you can see how there's a strip of white here. So I will trim this out and set it aside. I already have a collection. This is what they look like blank. So you can see there's still some from Courtney Diaz. I don't like these types of things to go to waste. Sticker paper isn't that cheap, so I try to repurpose it. So I made little washi strips. I sprayed a bunch of distress stains, I used some of my hand-carved stamps. There was a period of time where I thought making my own stamps was going to be the next big thing for me, but I stopped. But this is one of the ones that I made, and I used embossing powder to kind of give it like a texture and a gold foiling. This is like my favorite piece. Here's another one. You can use this as washi strips, borders, whatever you want. They're very handy, so I used to use distress oxides on these. That's another thing you could do. And here I have address labels. Like 4 years ago, I ordered a single pack and Amazon sent me like 24 packs of them. And I tried to return them, but they told me just to keep them. So yeah, I have address labels for days. And then these are binders, hole punch reinforcements that I put distress sprays on them. I also made die cuts out of those masterboard pieces. I think that all of this will work great. I've been saving them because I had no idea what I was going to use them for. A part of me thought of doing a whole week where I use nothing but my own stuff like this to decorate my journal pages, but I never really stuck with it. So in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't do that because now I can use it for this. This is me playing with a roll of craft paper that I bought from the Target Dollar Spot. And this is black document ink. And then just a white Uniball Signo and some Posca paint pens and stuff, just to kind of play. Oh, and then I made a tag. So I had a bunch of little scrap pieces left over for when I hole punched stuff. So I put it on a tag and collaged over it. That's my favorite word, petrichor. It's the smell after it rains. I didn't know there was a word for that particular smell. But when my husband and I first started talking, that was one of the things he told me, and it just stuck with me. So whenever I see that word, I think of my husband. So petrichor became one of my favorite things. But anywho, yeah, so I'll probably end up using a lot of this stuff. And then this folder, I did not make it. I bought this from Creatively Free to Be Me, her Etsy, I think, 3 years ago. It's just a manila folder that's stitched, but I really wanted to support Leanne, so I purchased it, and I use it to hold random ephemera bits. But all right, now that I've gone through some of the supplies that I'm using, this isn't all I'm using. I'm using a lot of other stuff too. I will probably make a couple things on camera for this challenge as well. But yeah, so no more talking, I guess. Let's get started.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. All the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
And here I'm coming towards the end of the cover sheet, or the cover card, that I'm going to be using to indicate or to separate the 2021 cards that I come up with. I really like how this came out. I used Courtney Diaz's printable to make the letters, and then I believe that one strip at the top is also Courtney Diaz. Now, this challenge started yesterday, so I already made a card out of some scraps that I had, and that's this one right here. I don't have the skills to draw that beautiful lady, unfortunately. That was an image from Win Summer Art, which is like an art journal type of magazine. And now I'm moving on to the card of today, which is day 2. While I was researching this challenge, I came across a YouTube channel called Tater Eyes Sass Mouth. I'll link her down below, but she did a really cool tutorial on how to make mixed media party hats. And since I knew I wanted to do an art doll for today's card, I wanted to go ahead and follow along with that tutorial and make a fun party hat. Now, this is a really easy and just simple way to get a lot of collage elements all in one go. So essentially what you do is you get a piece of paper or cardstock or whatever you want to use as your background. It doesn't matter because you're going to cover it up anyway. And then you take thin strips of colored paper to create kind of like a layered stripe effect all the way down to the bottom. In her tutorial, she used a lot of solid colored sheets of paper, and I think that works better. I just, for some reason, could not find my notepad of neon colored paper, so I just used whatever scraps I had. You can also use, like here I used a magazine from IKEA, their catalog. You can use junk mail, sales slips from grocery stores, whatever you have lying around. Like, this is a really amazing project, I feel like, because it's a great way to use up those scraps and pieces of paper that you just have laying around everywhere. Now, the reason why the solid color papers do better for this is because once you have everything all glued, we're actually going to do mark making and random doodles over the different strips to kind of create more layers and add a little more intrigue, I guess, to the overall design.
to slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world out? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about. Who care for the world now? Rest with me, close the curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree.
Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. I wonder. How come the trees get undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes. Until winter comes. Makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I just wonder. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, it makes me wonder.
Now that my card is fully dried, you can see that I am doing little marks using Posca paint pens. So I would recommend some kind of paint marker for this, since I used a gloss gel medium. So the paint markers or the paint pens seem to layer really well on top. I'm not 100% sure how a regular marker would work, so I think your best bet is probably to use a paint marker or an oil-based marker. Once you have all of your designs on top of the card that you made, now we're going to go ahead and just use a ruler to roughly trace out a few of the hats. Now you don't really need a ruler, you could just freehand it, cut along with your scissors, but I just kind of wanted to plan out at least a couple to see what the shape would be like or what patterns were going to be visible for each hat. Now, because I used a card that's not, or an index card that's not a square, it's a rectangle, all of my party hats are going to be different sizes, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I honestly like the variety that I get, and I think that's another really neat aspect of this tutorial. And there's no way I'm going to be able to use all these hats in one go, which means that I'm going to have several different party hats to choose from for my next several art dolls that I make. And the beautiful thing is that no two hats are the same. Okay, so I used a handheld sewing machine to make or to stitch along the edges of these little party hats. It works, but I wish I had black thread instead of the white. I think that would stand out a lot more. But if you don't have a sewing machine, I'm going to go ahead and create the little line marks myself using a pen. We're going to see how that turns out. So there you go. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can always just use a pen and do the little line marks yourself. It looks just as cute. All right, now back to the actual construction of the card.
Secondhand, I felt a bit forgotten. Not your plan, but now the days of silence outgrow the fun things we have done. But tell me, do you wanna carry on? Plants don't grow without water, and they cave when it's cold. We could go till we're older. Put your head on my shoulder, and let's enjoy the
have turned. Can we live and unlearn? You tell me. Plants don't grow without water, and they cave when it's cold. We could go till we're older. Put your head on my shoulder and let's enjoy